used to be. She knew exactly the moment when things had changed and the awful rows had started. Her father was a spiv, and he knew she'd been witness to the goings-on between him and Wilf Jones. As soon as it became light, Rose unlocked her door as quietly as she could and passed her parents' bedroom on her way downstairs. She heard her father's rhythmic snoring that always followed a heavy night of drinking at a Raidd Goch, the pub in the village named after the Welsh Red Dragon. She knew she'd be safe for a while. She wouldn't have to face him yet, and maybe she'd be gone before he stirred. "Oh, Rose, you startled me. I didn't hear you come down, Cariad." Her mother was laying sticks over rolled-up tubes of newspaper in the kitchen grate, about to light the fire. "Sorry, ma'am. I didn't want to have to face father again." "You too. I don't know what went on last night, but it has to stop. Your brother doesn't answer him back like you do. Try to keep the peace, Cariad." Rose watched her mother and wondered how she'd ended up waiting on her husband hand and foot, trying not to do anything to risk the famous temper of his. She worked hard all hours God sent in the kitchen up at the hall to provide for her and her brother, as well as running the home. "I know what you're thinking, Rose, but your father loves us all in his own way. We've got to make allowances, you know, because of what he suffered in the war." Rose saw her glance anxiously at the wall clock. Her father would be down soon, demanding his breakfast. "Here, I'd better get on." The fire was soon roaring. The water in the blackened kettle hanging over the fire started to bubble. Her mother entered the pantry to cut a couple of bacon rashers from the cured ham her father had brought home the night before. "You go on about your father, Rose, but he looks after this family, you know. Not many have seen a giant ham like this one for a good few years. And who else is still able to have sugar in their tea, eh?" she called. Out of her mother's hearing, Rose sighed. "But, Ma'am, don't you ever wonder why? A whole ham, a full bag of sugar? I've worked it out. Why can't you?" Bacon sizzled in the pan on the stove, and her mother had cracked 2 eggs to fry when they heard heavy footsteps on the stairs. "I'm going, Ma'am. I need to find out if there's a job for me at the hall. You said they might need new kitchen maids, didn't you?" Rose stood up, made her way to the scullery, and splashed cold water on her face. "Yes, but have something to eat first. I can do you the same as your father. It'll be nice for you to sit down together." "No, thanks. I'm not hungry. And in any case, I don't want to face him. He's not going to let it lie. After what I found out, or should I say worked out." "Found out? Worked out? What are you talking about?" Rose froze as her father entered the kitchen. His bulky frame blocked the doorway and her exit to the hallway to get her coat. He glowered at his daughter. "You're not going anywhere without my permission, young lady. We need to talk." "Let her go, Joe. She's going to see Kathleen up at the hall about jobs. It'll be good for her to earn a bit of money again after the harvest work. God knows we can do with the extra." Her mother served his breakfast onto an enamel plate and placed it on the table. Rose mouthed, "Thank you," at her mother as her father let her through. The confrontation with him had been averted, for a while at least. She took her coat from the hall stand and glanced at herself in the mirror that shone like an all-seeing eye from between the outdoor clothes. Was the sad girl with the lacklustre expression looking back at her really Rose Howells? What had happened to the smiling creature of a few months ago without a care in the world? The eye knew. It was also a witness to her father's carryings-on. It knew what was down in the cellar that led off the hallway, and Rose knew too. She glanced at the cellar door. Something was different. Was there fresh varnish around the latch? Then she saw it. A new bolted padlock screwed on at the top.